the thing about doing something once is, once you do it once, you can do it again and probably better. Clap it. But it's not enough. If you solid mother lovers, but it's not enough.
All right.
And we have a moral obligation to keep pushing the technology, but that's neither here or there. What's up, party people? How you doing? My name is Hero, and this is Coding with Strangers. And I want to talk about something. My cadence was off the whole time. Hopefully you guys are doing all right. Some people are reeling from the election and they're not really handling it too well. And while I have made a committed effort to be like, it's not my job no more, I did my part, right? I just wanted my student loans paid for. But neither here or there. In addition, we're not a political channel. But we do want to talk about some of the advancements in technology. And one of the most important things about technology is the ability to power it and how we're going to do it. And there's probably going to be testimonies. If this world or universe, this species makes it to 40-20, and we're able to look back on our past and say, you mean to tell me for the first or the first recorded 20,000 years, 2,000 years, whatever, for however many millennia, we never figured out how to harness the power of the sun? Like, we never figured that out. Dr. Octavius figured it out in a movie with 4 mechanical arms. Oh, he didn't really figure it out. It actually almost killed. Well, it did kill him. But it's going to be a strange story to tell in our history books if we ever make it that far. To be like, yeah, we never harnessed the power of the sun. But that's probably going to be a thing of the past as we have some light at the end of the tunnel. So today we want to talk about how to harness the power of the sun. And while this headline is kind of misleading, it buries the lead a little bit, but I want to show you the contrast of what happens when someone succeeds and wants to do better, and when someone sees someone succeeding but doesn't want to do better, right? So let's talk about it. Major milestone for the EU. Good job, guys. Energy revolution as the solar power overtakes coal for the first time in the EU. Clap it up. Well done. Drop a bomb. Did it hurt when you fell down?
When I came down.
Good. Solar provides more than... Hey, bro, I think I'm going to head on in for the night. I'm kind of tired. No problem. Get some rest. Hey, didn't you work today? 12-hour shift. And you went to the gym? PR to 700 deadlift. And you still got energy to do all this work? Where does the energy come from, bro? I'm at my best when I have my zest, baby. Okay? Zest? The Zest Super Berry Samba Green Tea comes packed with 135 milligrams of caffeine and L-theanine. That's how I stay focused for longer and stronger throughout the day with no crash. It's way better than coffee or any of those sugar-filled energy drinks out there. No GMO, gluten-free, and it won't stain your teeth. Oh yeah, that sounds real good. Is this one right? Yes, sir, that's the one. But my brother in Zest, I'm gonna need you to get your own Super Berry Samba Green Tea. Selfish. You mad, bro? Don't worry, I got you. Use my promotional code down below to get 20% off selected items and the subscriptions. That's Coding with Strangers, all one word. Put that in the checkout box and you'll be good to go. Thank you so much to Zest for the sponsorship. Solar provided more power than coal did to the EU countries for the first time last year, marking a new milestone in the unstoppable rise of renewable energy. The unstoppable rise of renewable energy. That has a good ring to it. Sunlight soaking renewable generated 11% of the EU electricity in 2024, overtaking the dirtiest fossil fuel, which dropped below 10%. Now, make no qualms about it. It only dropped that much because this increased that much. It's a correlation here. The better we get, the less reliant we become. Energy think tank Ember's annual European electricity review chart a deep transformation within the bloc power sector, which has made speedy progress towards clean energy over the last 5 years. Damn. They haven't figured out the whole dental situation in the EU, but they figured this shit out. Crazy. Fossil fuels are losing their grip on the EU energy, says Dr. Chris Roslow. Nice name. Senior analyst and lead author of the report published today. At the start of the European Green Deal in 2019, a few thought that the EU energy transition could be where it is today. Wind and solar are pushing coal to the margins and forcing gas into a structural decline. Damn. Since 2019 when they joined the Green New Deal, right? Look at the progress they've made so far. What happens when you try something and it works, so you try and get better, versus what happens when you try something and you don't want to get better. How much EU electricity comes from fossil fuels and renewables? The evidence, in the end, it's the evidence in sight for the end is evidently in sight for coal, which has nosedived from being the second to sixth largest power source in the EU. You could have just said it was the 1, 2, 3, 4. You could have said it was the fourth. You didn't. The stress is this is killing me. Okay, whatever. There's more good news as gas generations fell for the 15th year in a row, and wind percentage generated more electricity than gas, 16% for the second year in a row. What? Wind's above gas? Oh shit, I didn't. Hydro's above coal. Well, I guess hydro's was one of the first we figured out. Wind, and then I guess we figured out wind a long time ago. Damn. So gas is on course to be paced out by hydro here pretty soon. But there's a huge gap for nuclear. Ooh. And it's on the increase. Interesting. The total fossil fuel generated fell to a historic low, supplying 29% of the EU electricity in the 2024 compared to the 39% before the Green Deal. Nice. So an incentivized plan dictates how action happens. Companies and people will not innovate unless they are forced to. Because company and people are inherently greedy. Can't help themselves. So we got to incentivize it. Incentivize change. It works wonders. Meanwhile, strong solar combined with recovery of hydropower pushed the shares of renewable. Nearly half of EU power generated 47% last year to 34%. So they've gone from 34% of renewable energies to 47%. This chart says it all. There's not really much more you can really squander from it. And really how they did it is just by putting these solar maps just everywhere. Their solar print increased by 19% from 2023 to 2022 to 2023, and from 24% from 2023 to 2024. It's just a constant increase of it. And some of the big major players being Greece, where Greece was nearly 22%, is 22% full solar. So for example, Lithuania from 3 to 19, Austria 22% to 12%. Spain 6 to 21, 3 to 14 for Portugal. Greece from 9 to 22. Greece literally said, "Get at me, bro." Cyprus 4 to 20%, another huge increase. Bulgaria 3 to 14. Hungary. Yeah, he's going to be making fun of me. And Poland from 0 to 9%. So these are all great stats, great numbers, something we can do. And there's a part of me that looks at this in a little bit of envy, a little bit of control, because this is our belligerent. Look at our belligerent king, right? The king has no clothes.
Basis to build their plant, build the electric generating plant. They can fuel it with anything they want, and they may have coal as a backup. good, clean coal. You know, if there were a problem with a pipe coming in, as an example, you're going with gas, oil or gas, and a pipe gets blown up or for some reason doesn't work, there are some companies in the U.S. that have coal sitting right by the plant so that if there's an emergency, they can go to that short-term basis and use our very clean coal. So that's something else that a lot of people didn't even know about. But nothing can destroy coal, not the weather, not a bomb, nothing. It might make it a little smaller, might make it a little different shape, but coal is very strong as a backup. It's a great backup to have that facility, and it wouldn't cost much more money. And we have more coal than anybody. We also have more oil and gas than anybody. So
whose mans is this? Huh? Whose mans is this? This is what y'all voted for, man. And because of this idiot, this belligerent orange Oompa Loompa, whose brain is clearly melting, and his infatuation with thinking coal is just another rock that can be reshaped, we're plummeting. We're doing worse. We're not winning. We're losing. And the worst part about it is there's proof that the system that could have been implemented works. But sometimes it's not about being right. Sometimes it's about sending a message. And in this case, the message is the people who got him to this office are from those industries. This experiment called America might be running out of time, but there's almost like as if there's a race between whether America will fail first or our ecosystem, our environment will let us down. There's this madness. This perpetual madness, this lack of understanding. Trump's weird rant about coal at Davos is proof he's losing it. Absolutely. Donald Trump is promising a dawn of new digital age of second term. In his second term, even if it means polluting the nation's air and taxing its infrastructure. During a speech, the World Economic Forum on Thursday, the 47th president ranted and rambled through a dozen of talking points related to a flurry of executive orders he signed earlier in the week, but he also elucidated some of the details related to his plan to expand the nation's burgeoning artificial intelligence sector, including a pledge to use an emergency declaration to rapidly produce electricity generating plants in support of the tech industry. So he thinks the best way to go about that is using coal. But we already know that that's not the plan in the rest of the world. And the rest of the world is proving margins on gains. Trump declares energy emergency. Will more fossil fuels extraction really cut energy bills? The answer is absolutely no. I can save you the 3 minutes of me painfully reading this. And the reason why we know it to be true is because the rest of the world is literally doing the experiment for us and succeeding. So think about it. They accomplished these goals from 2019 to 2024, less than 5 years. A little over 5 years. We could be there. We could be there. We could have been the leaders of this. But we're too afraid to stand on our own. We're too afraid to make change that might make us a little uncomfortable. But, that's just my opinion. So, I'm just a chill guy talking about tech news. This isn't a political channel, not one bit. Clap. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the other side.